Okay. This is gonna be a demonstration for the lettering assignment that's on Canvas for today. So, if you go on to Canvas and you got not gonna see the whole screen, but that's okay. Click on assignments, scroll down. So we're going to work on experimenting with art lettering. So I did put a due date for the 22nd. Definitely going to change that though. But this is pretty much what we're going to do for today. We're going to do like 3 different practice versions of different styles of letters. Instead of doing your name, we're going to do like the word. So if you've been doing like your name already, I do want to encourage you to do the word. Because you probably didn't, or I think there's only one person that finished all 3 of them, but hey, you're still working on it though. Think about like a word though, like 5 letter or more word that describes you as a person. So I was gonna use the word professional. This is a pretty long word. Definitely, way more than 5 letters. But I don't want to do any. I don't want you guys to do anything less than 5 though. You have to do 5 or more letters for the word describes you. So you spend a little bit of time, just finding a word that describes you as a person. I'm gonna pull some resources, links to give you, added to this assignment. I just didn't get a chance to add it, but basically today though, it's just gonna be practicing lettering. So once you get some practice on different fonts, different types of how you want your word to look. So my suggestion is you can use this Google Drive folder to take a look at some different examples on there. So we click on it, and then if we just kind of scroll through like the different words, that one you can't see because that's just the file that needs to be there. These are some different examples of like how some of the words could look if you were to draw them out. So some of them are a little bit more elaborate with cursive. Some of them are a little bit more bold. Some of them, much more stylized. So you can look through these letters to find styles that you want to use, or if you want to, you can also do a Google search on the word lettering. So if you do lettering, you can do image search on that too. If there's, for some reason you can't find something that you want to find, right? Okay, but today it's just mainly just to practice on different types. So just to give you guys some help with getting started with lettering, I'm going to show you guys a couple of different approaches that you can go with in the lettering. So I'm gonna do like a different word just because professional is a really long word. But yeah, I'm gonna. I guess we can use like the word honest. So I'm just gonna write the word honest here. So whatever word you choose to use, just write it down. Or if you want, you can write down like a couple words. So honest could be one. Caring could be another. Let me see. Organized. Yeah, I do feel like I'm somewhat organized. So feel free to just write down like words to brainstorm some ideas. Maybe like 3 or 5 of them. Just for the sake of time, though, I'm just gonna go with like that word honest. So let's go on my iPad, take a look at some of those examples, some of those words I might want to use. So in terms of like the fonts that you pick, just try out some different fonts. So some fonts will work better than others. So really easy. If you're really really comfortable with doing like block letters, by all means you can kind of just go into like just working in block letters. So this one I want you to kind of freehand the drawing. So when I say freehand though, you're not going to really use a ruler for this. So I want you to just freehand it for now. Just to see how it looks. When we do your final though, if you want to use like a ruler, take your time with it. That's fine. But yeah, I'm just taking a look at like these letters here, and I'm just practicing like what the drawing of the letter is. Okay, so one easy way is you can just do like block letters. So if this is like something you're comfortable with doing, you can just kind of block out the letters. Okay, but real important though, because we're gonna actually like put these letters into perspective. You're going to have to, I want to say, sorry, I was trying to zoom in closer. The only thing I'm gonna say though is you're gonna have to make it into like a block letter. So it can't just be like like this just like lines. Okay, because if it were lines, it would look something like this. Okay, but this is like a no-no though. You have to do block letters. Okay, so as you continue, and obviously you don't want like that circle next. You want to just practice the lettering. Also, one thing to practice too is the spacing of the letters. Because you don't want the letters to be too far, too close. One aspect of lettering that's real important is also making sure like things are spaced properly in your drawing. Because basically lettering is like the art form of drawing letters. We're not really writing it; we're basically drawing it. So I'm doing something interesting with this O, and I'm going to show you in 1 second what I'm doing. So, I want you to just practice the lettering and do what kind of makes sense in terms of the lettering. So, for example, in this right here, the O is kind of broken up into two parts because of the style that's being used. If you actually like the way it looks, you can keep it that way. I just decided to draw like the whole O, and I'm going to cut these parts out. So, just kind of do what makes sense to you in the drawing to make it easier. I feel like if I were to make it separate though, it would be two parts. So that's one way of approaching your drawing is, you can feel free to just draw lightly, just like we would in the previous assignment, and then go darker once you're happy and you're confident with your lines. All right, so another approach you can go with it too is, if it's easier to do just the lines first, you can draw out the lines. So I made this one a little too wide. So take your time with it though. I want you to just practice the lettering. It's okay if it's not the way you want it. This is all just practice. But you can also do the, do it with lines, and then you can just block in the shapes. So this is fine to do as well. And again, I'm just drawing very lightly with the pencil. But you can use like that line as a foundation for like your block letters itself. And if you've ever learned how to do block letters, this is probably like the first thing that you might have done to learn it. And then we just darken the lines, erase the line in the middle. So I'm gonna kind of go off a little tangent though, but like that's like really good use for like let's just say you're doing like a cursive letter. So let's just say I was gonna do like a cursive S. So, now this has nothing to do with the spacing for this. I'm actually gonna do it down here, but if I were gonna do like this cursive S here, it's probably easier to draw as a line. Yeah, I'm just drawing what I see though, okay? Don't try to make up the font itself, I want you to look up one online. Use that as like a form of reference, but I'm trying to draw this S right here, so you can see. So this is like a line drawing though, but we have to block into a shape. So same thing like I did before. I'm going to, block it out. And it's okay if it's a little bit skinnier, not a big deal if it is. I'm still blocking out the shape though. Actually gonna make it a little bit bigger on this side. So feel free to, just kind of draw around, see what makes sense. And then once you're happy with the drawing, then you can darken the lines. Darken the lines, erase it, and clean it up. And this is essentially what drawing is. You work lightly, get the lines you want, redefine the lines, and then just clean up things as you go along. You want to go what's the word, vague to more detail. All right. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for today. You're just going to be practicing lettering. And, it's okay if, like, you're drawing your letters, you get tired, you want to take breaks. Definitely I feel like the lettering, just kind of makes my hand tired. So, for today though, I do want you to think about like a word that you can use, and you can even practice some different shading techniques. So, like within the letters, if you want to just practice some shading, so, you can make some letters a little bit, darker on the bottom, make it lighter on the top. That's a really cool looking gradient effect you can do with the letters. So, we're actually gonna spend a little bit more time like practice shading and whatnot later, or you can do like little, drawings of like patterns or textures, like I did some dots right here. I made it look a little bit more crackle. I drew some lines. So, we're gonna be adding these like minor details to your to your letters when we work on your final. All right.